Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I wasn't planning on making this video today, but I figured, hey, I'll take the opportunity to make a troubleshooting video because I have something that needs to be troubleshot. Right now I want to shoot it into space, but instead we're going to fix it. Today she comes to me and she says, hey, computer's acting up again. So I just reloaded the thing. It can't be Windows, except for I've been seeing all the notifications that, hey, Windows updates are breaking people's computers. So I figure that's probably what happened. She probably got an update, it restarted, couldn't make it all the way through, or just the update broke her computer. And there we go. Shuts down. Gets just into Windows, logs are in, dies immediately. So I'm going to take everybody through the wonderful troubleshooting steps that I take when this kind of issue happens and when any other PC issue happens, and we'll see if we can get this thing figured out and get her back up and running, because she's got some work to do.
Now, this whole process is going to require a few parts, like a few spare parts, and I just happen to have a lot of spare parts. So if you don't have extra RAM laying around, extra drives laying around, other computers you can plug things into, I understand this would be troublesome. A lot of this will be troublesome. So my first instinct when this kind of crap happens is to just make sure everything, please come on. I only had 2 screws in because I thought it would be easier. This is not easier. Okay, so first things first, I just dive in, make sure everything is securely plugged in. So go for my 24-pin power first. Sorry, it's challenging to get in here with all of this because it's a very tiny little computer. So everything is plugged in. My other thought is maybe the CPU is overheating. Like if these blades weren't turning, and the CPU might be overheating, but it wouldn't shut down that fast, especially since this is just a Pentium. It's not what you would call a hot chip. It could probably run for an hour on just the heatsink alone with no fans running, and it would probably be fine. So my next instinct here is to check the RAM, because everything's plugged in just fine. Everything is secure and everything's as it should be. So I am going to swap out this DIMM and see if we get any different results. Alrighty, there is the Ballistics 8 gig DIMM that I just dropped in. So get this power supply turned back on and boom. See if we can garner any different results. Nope, turned off on me. Didn't even make it to Windows that time. Just died immediately. So RAM was not our issue. That's good. So my hope here is that it's not the motherboard or the CPU. Since we are posting, I don't think it's the CPU. I'm really hoping it's not the drive, because the drive's on the back of the motherboard, and to get the motherboard out, I'd have to take this out and basically strip the whole thing. Hey there. So it's actually a different day. I filmed this before, and then I lost all the footage. So, good stuff. So, redo. I'm just loading up a Ubuntu distro on this drive here. You can load this up on a USB flash drive, on a SD card, on a potato with a USB port, whatever you want. I am using Ubuntu because it is Ubuntu, because it's tiny and it's fast to download and it's fast to install. And wow, it's 1.5 gigs. Okay, so thanks to editing magic, that took all of none seconds, but it took all of I don't know, a minute for me. Results will vary. The link to this particular site in the description below. So what I'm actually going to use here to make this bootable drive is called Power ISO, and there it is. And this is also free. You can download this. I already have it downloaded, obviously. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is open with Power ISO. Yes, you can pay for this and remove this annoying timer feature. I don't want to pay for this because I only use it for one thing: loading Ubuntu. So in Tools, you're going to see Create Bootable USB Drive. You don't have to use Power ISO. There's a bunch of ISO burners out there. It's just I find it easy. It's decent. It's a decent program. Okay, so here you can see the ASMT. That's my AData guy right here, and already got that. And go. Yes. Okay, so that was successful, and my computer hates it now because it's formatted differently. We're going to take it back over there and continue this. Okay, so I've got my Ubuntu distro drive plugged in here. Power! And I'm going to mash F2 a bunch and get to the BIOS.
So all I'm going to do in here is go to my boot menu, and I'm going to select as boot option 1 that ASMT drive that I just created there. So I'm going to tell it to boot option 1, go to that drive, exit, save changes, reset. Now your BIOS may be a little bit different than that, but every single UEFI or BIOS is going to have a boot order section. Just make sure whatever drive that you set it as is the drive that you just loaded your Ubuntu or whatever other operating system you're using. That aside, select English, and then start Ubuntu. So this is nice because it actually just boots right off the drive we just created, so it's not going to involve itself at all with our other drive. And this is going to show us, if this boots up and is stable, it's going to show us that our issue is in fact with the drive. Okay, you can't see that. Okay, it's up, but is it stable? Let's see. Okay, and she's dead. So there was a message on the screen there just before it actually booted into the operating system, and it said cannot enumerate USB devices. So that's giving me an indication that one of my USB devices is being a jerk. So I'm going to unplug them all. So all of my USB devices have been unplugged. All I have is power and HDMI plugged in right now. So it's gonna give me trouble because it needs a keyboard to actually get to confirm itself into the operating system. Okay, no keyboard detected, we know. So the only 4 devices that I have plugged into this computer that are USB besides this drive right now, but this is only temporary, this wasn't here when things were going wrong, are the camera, mouse, keyboard, and this lovely Chinese-made Qi wireless charger. I'm thinking this is our guy. If something's wrong with the USB device, I'm guessing that the Chinese-made like $7 Qi charger is our issue. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I don't think I'm wrong. So what I'm going to do is first of all plug everything back in. Okay, so I've got the camera plugged in, I've got the mouse plugged in, and I've got the keyboard plugged in. And I'm just going to try to do what I was doing a minute ago and access my Wi-Fi. Click on some stuff, open some things. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. So anyway, this seems very stable, so that does seem like it was the issue. So with that unplugged, I'm going to shut down. Zoop. Pull the drive. So this is no longer connected, so it will no longer boot to Ubuntu. Boot it back up. And see how Windows is behaving. Well, we got this far the first time. I'm not excited. Just ignore the horror. Okay, it's setting up my USB devices. I think we may have found the problem, people. We're going to run Cinebench and tax the living crap out of this thing. And as long as it doesn't crash, we're good. Oh, it's so slow. I don't want to score from Cinebench. I just want to finish. Doing this with a quarter of the threads that I'm used to. At like 800 megahertz slower per thread. Hey, we scored better than an i5 5300U. So thanks once again, guys, for joining me for this little troubleshooting video here. I hope you got some sort of useful information out of it. Come check back later for more content like this. I'll try to put more of these kind of smaller informational videos out. I've got one also I'm probably going to upload today that's simultaneously that's going to deal with formatting. That's only going to be a couple minutes long, but it might help somebody. This is information that's out there somewhere, and if you found it, by coming to me, then good on you. Subscribe if you want to see more. Ring the little bell if you want to be notified. And other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Buy your computer, and you can. Whoa! I have not seen a screensaver in like a decade, so that was fun and slightly startling.